Virgo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early December 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Virgo collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the Virgo collective, my good friends? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Virgo in early December. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Please and thank you. Let's get this card out nice and quick. There we go. Thank you. Cool. All right, so we do have the Little Mermaid Ariel starting to show up here. Now, she's not named that in this deck, but I just like to call her that because it just, this card and all the aspects and energies, it does remind me of the Little Mermaid movie for whatever reason. It's a great card for future focus, future ambition. There's a little bit of an overthinky, daydreamy type of vibe connected here too, but we'll get into that. Before we do though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the December subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So yeah, as you can see here, beautiful card. I love the illustrations here. And we have the mermaid. Her head is above water in the clouds, technically. Beautiful oceanscape underneath there. So it just reminds me of the movie, and I'm sure we've all seen it a few dozen times, right? She's in a good place. The mermaid herself is in a beautiful place, but there's some place that she would rather be. There's still future ambition. There's still things that she wants to accomplish. So for a lot of Virgos, there could be a big future focus in this time. If not, Spirit could be asking you to get into that type of energy. Like, all right, don't just look at right now. It's good to live in the moment, of course, but start looking a little bit down the line. Shape some goals and ambitions. I mean, I know Virgos are generally very ambitious, but there's just something here about looking at the future. Now, aside from that, I did mention her head is literally in the clouds. That could be great for any sort of creativity, artistic expression could be really favored in this time, creating anything with your hands. But I would just say be wary of overthinking. Okay, or getting stuck in fantasy land when this type of energy shows up here. But again, it doesn't feel bad to me. So we're going to leave it at that. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say this first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's get it going here for my Virgo friends. Shuffle it one time. And while we get the deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. There was a bit of a volatile energy last week, so watch out. That energy could bleed over for a couple of weeks. The reading was titled A Shocking Situation, so we had tower energy all over the place. So that could have been good, bad, or indifferent. I guess it really depends on what you're going through. But yeah, when we see tower energy, that could linger for a couple weeks. So just something to be aware of. But we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards to start us off, my good Virgo friends. In early December, what's happening? Thank you. Nice and quick. 4 swords. A very common card with the earth signs this week. Yours is starting it off here. I generally like to start with an action card, but actually coming off the tails of what we had last week, this could be a good thing. Let's get a couple more. That 4 of swords is recuperating. All right, so communication could be at play. We have the page of cups, so a lot of internal energy here, but I am liking what I'm seeing thus far. Let's get one more out here for you. What do we have for Virgo? Please. All right, cool. Lots of pages, lots of people. Okay, so that could be you even. So we're just going to have to really take a very close look at this, because there's some repeating themes that we're going to want to look at. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, you know, I always look at the elements first and see how the elements play off of each other. And I do like the mixture that we have here. We're starting with some air, which is the swords energy. That's the realm of intellect, but also communication. We have the Page of Cups, emotions, but also talking. Page of Pentacles, earthy energy, but also communicating. So you could see the underlying energy around all three of these do deal with communication in one form or another. So we're definitely going to want to pull a lot more detail out of this. But I feel like the energy is playing together in a decent way. Let's go through piece by piece and really start to build it out, though. Position number one, we are starting with the Four of Swords. Now, I did mention I usually like an action card to lead us off. Maybe that's because I'm fire sign. But when I see the Four of Swords, we see this person, it looks like they're sleeping, meditating, or taking a rest of some sort. Now, for a lot of people, this is a very spiritual card. So, I mean, certain spiritualities could be very important for you in this time, or just figuring out your own or going within. This could be a great card for meditation, any like lucid dreaming or astral travel. We could go as far as we want. This is all about those types of spiritual practices. Now, for a portion of you, maybe you need a little more sleep or rest. Hopefully you're not having some insomnia when this card shows up. To me, it is a card that represents taking a break or taking the foot off the gas for whatever reason. So for some of you, whether you are in a time of recovery or maybe you just need to pump the brakes on something for a minute, it doesn't have to be permanent when we have this Four of Swords. This can be a good card, and it really links into the dream state and imagination. So it links to what we saw with Ariel in the very beginning. So there's a really strong mental energy showing up here. Now, where we get to the issue with the Four of Swords, just like all the other fours, it's pretty planted, not really moving, not a lot of action. So for some of you, that could be good, like letting things quiet down. But for some of you, it could be frustrating if you're wanting to move a situation along. The Four of Swords can be a little frustrating from time to time. So we'll just see what's up with that. Definitely watch your dreams for sure when we have the Four of Swords. Now, moving to the center, before I knock all the cards off their center, we do have the first page, which is the Page of Cups. Beautiful energy here. Water sign, you might be connected to one. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Now, it's going to share a lot of similarities with the next page we have coming up. All pages are students. They're also messengers. So this is great for new tasks, new adventures, going on a new path. The issue with page energy is that it's not always fully developed. So it's like not a guaranteed thing, not a sure thing. Same with the next one that's coming up, that's for sure. But big thing with every page, specifically this one, it's a communicator. This one's pouring out its emotions, it's pouring out its feelings. With it being in the cup suit, that is linked heavily into how somebody feels. So we're really going to want to see how speaking and communicating is playing a part, because like we have this energy that's not really doing much. It's like taking a break, and then if you notice how these pages line up, they're like turning their backs to each other, right? It's like they're both facing different directions. So we're just going to keep moving forward with the reading, because the Page of Pentacles does have a little bit of a difference and a different significance since you are an earth sign. So in my specific style with this Page of Pentacles, unless you're connected to another earth sign, so Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, the clarifier could just tell us something that's coming towards you or what you might be feeling. It could be that simple. But just like this one, new adventures, new endeavors, this is a great card for consuming knowledge, learning new skills, learning new things. So those things are looking highly favored here. But again, this is a messenger. This one's more connected to the written message. It's a little more reserved than this Page of Cups. So it's like we have this one communicator that's like free flowing, open, letting it all spill. This one's a little more reserved. So we're going to have to see how this communication goes. But I just want to say it once again, when it comes to all pages, they're a youthful energy. They're not solid. They're not ingrained. So they're never a sure thing because they're not fully developed. It's like limited time only. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Virgo. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. Let's see what's happening. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. What's going on that Four of Swords? Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Virgo, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Four of Swords time. Yeah, I find it peculiar that we have double page energy. And even a couple of weeks ago, I feel like one of your readings was really connecting hard to communication. But let's see what's up. Three Cups. Now there's lots of people. Now there's lots of people. The Three of Cups, and now we're really starting to have a different complexion added here because we have people, even more people. So it's like you could be extra magnetic to other people whether you want to or whether you don't in this time. I mean, I guess it depends on the type of person you are. For some Virgos, yeah, totally cool. Not a problem at all. For some of you, hearing that message is like, whoa, all right, a little too overwhelming. I don't want all that energy around me. But the Three of Cups is usually a card of happiness, joyousness, merriment, having a grand old time. So with the Four of Swords and the Three of Cups, Spirit could literally be saying, like, listen, Virgo, the best course of action right now could just be to not do anything, which I know might sound wild, but there could be certain situations where the best course of action is to just ride it out. It's like, all right, you're going to get the best case scenario. You're going to get that win. You're going to get that victory if you just let it ride out. But I can't let go of this message because the Three of Cups represents groups of people, whether it's coworkers, friends, family, just like lots of people. So now we're getting like all these different people. So just know that your energy could be extra magnetic. Either that, or if you have been dealing with a lot of social things or big groups of people, you might need a little rest from that. With the energy I'm picking up in the front, like just take a minute to breathe. So we're going to see how it all plays out. I feel like we're adding some complexity into this. So yeah, before we move further, once again, for a lot of you, the best course of action could just be to take your foot off the gas and just let something be and see how it develops, because there's wind-based energy here for sure, but there's a magnetism I'm picking up from you. And I get this magnetism in Leo readings quite often, so it's interesting that it's showing up for you. Let's keep moving. Let's go in on that Page of Cups and see what the page has to say. I really want to get to the Page of Pentacles too. So why is the Page of Cups here for Virgo? Thank you. Okay. Devil energy, reemerging of some sort. Yeah. There could be an individual that you need to be very cautious with in the near future, if this isn't somebody already. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go worst case scenario, scorched earth on you here. But when I see the Page of Cups with the devil in the upright, it's like, all right, this could be someone that is very, very slick with their words. This is somebody that could talk the bark off a tree type of energy. They could talk the fur off a cat. It's like a very smooth, easy flowing type of energy here. Either that or something or someone's going to return or reemerge. That's just the big vibe I'm picking up. Now, the devil is not always worst case scenario. Right? It's Capricorn energy. So if you're linked to Capricorn and we have the Page of Cups, there could be a lot of communication with this particular individual. But let's talk about the devil. It's a planted energy, very similar to the Hierophant. So it's an energy, it's like here. It's pardon me. It's sticking around or it's flaring back up. So when I see like this Page of Cups, I mean, either it's something or someone coming back around, returning or flaring up, or this is a person you need to be very cautious with their words. I mean, there's a lot of people out there where you could take them at their word. What they say is what they mean. But when I see the Page of Cups and the devil, it's like this person will kind of say anything. So there might be a very particular person. If that's not someone right now, just be very cautious of new people coming in, because this is a smooth operator. This is a really smooth operator, and it's someone that will definitely tell people what they want to hear. It's just super smooth. So there is someone that you should be cautious about, or there's someone that you should beware of, especially if they're a super smooth talker. Let's keep moving over. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. I don't know why I'm saying that, but just take that for what it's worth. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Right? Because it's like, yeah, the page here in the front, yeah, it seems inconspicuous. It seems pretty harmless, but the devil underneath, it's like, all right, let's be very cautious here. Let's go in, especially with all the energies that are coming towards you with the magnetism. So let's go in on that Page of Pentacles, see what shows up there. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. Okay. Eight of Swords in the upright. This is a very stressed, anxious, nervous type of energy here. Okay. Now, I'm not saying this is definitely you. It could be somebody else that definitely needs to get something off their chest. I feel in the back here, yeah, it can be an important talk where someone will feel better once they say something, but watch who you say it to. That's another big thing I'm picking up here, Virgo, especially with all the people I feel around. Yeah, this could be an important talk, of course, but it's like, all right, should you trust this person with the things you're telling them? I would just be very cautious about who you tell what. That's like the big intuitive message I'm picking up here. So it makes sense with what I'm seeing here with the Four of Swords and the Three of Cups. It's like, all right, well, don't get too involved and don't get dragged into group things or other people's mess. There could be a person that's just like very easy to talk to, or they appear easy to talk to. I'm not saying you have to lie to somebody. I'm not saying you have to withhold a ton of information. I just feel like you should be careful of what you tell people or what you should tell a particular person, because with this energy in the center, I'm very skeptical, and I do feel like it's someone you should be aware of. And that's just, I'm going to tell you the honest truth. You know that when I do the readings, what I feel, I tell you. Now, the good thing about the Eight of Swords is that it's a fast moving type of energy. But when I see it under the Page of Pentacles, I feel like someone tying themselves in knots with their word, where it's like, once something's said, you can't unsay it. Once somebody knows something, they can't unknow it. So just be very cautious about who you trust with certain pieces of information. Listen, this reading is going in a way I did not expect it to go, especially when all these different people started showing up. So I would say any struggles in the coming days and weeks could be tied to social aspects, okay? Social aspects, interpersonal connections. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. So yeah, this reading did take a couple of left-hand turns. It's all good though. But if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we have the Four of Swords and the Three of Cups. Like I said, your best case scenario for something might be to just like let something be for the moment. Like you could still get a win or victory here, but your best action should be a passive action. Just let something evolve how it needs to evolve. Moving to the center, this is where we get that first warning. If this isn't a person that you're connected to now, this could be someone that shows up. We have the Page of Cups with the Devil in the upright, someone that's very smooth with their words. And someone that is very convincing, easy to talk to. And with what we got here on the back end, just be very cautious about who you give certain pieces of information to, because remember, once you say something, you can't unsay it. On the back end, we have the Page of Pentacles, one of your cards with the Eight of Swords in the upright. So of course, this can be an important talk or conversation coming in, where somebody feels better, feels relieved after they say something, but I'm just too cautious about this energy in the center of this person that you need to be aware of. Okay, so just keep that in mind as you move through your week. It's a smooth operator there. That is a smooth operator. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end, just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a bad thing. They could be very good. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it down in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out. What's going on here for Virgo? Okay, Five of Swords. That links to me to what I was seeing here in the center. Now, the Five of Swords is a good card for determination, but when we're looking at the shadow side of the Five of Swords, this card could represent an individual that's a little self-centered or selfish. So again, if you're connected to anybody that represents those traits or anyone that has narcissistic tendencies, just walk lightly with this individual. Now, the Five of Swords can be very confrontational as well. So in the coming days and weeks, I mean, maybe your temper might flare up a little more than it normally does. Maybe you're a little on edge when this card shows up on the shadows. I would just be cautious with any interpersonal thing in this time. That's like the big takeaway I'm picking up from this week's reading. So we're going to leave it at that, Virgo. That's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the December subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar and book one at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the December subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Everyday Witches Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what do you want Santa Claus to bring you this year for Christmas? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.